Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her, and I'm really trying very hard to get the sillies out, to get the saddies in, but it's really hard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wayra, my pronouns are she, they, and I play Véres, whose pronouns are he, they.
That's it?
I don't know what else to say. I'm fucking hyped. Jeffrey!
Jeffrey!
This is my partner, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey!
Joy and Jeffrey are not gonna last, let's be real.
Their Halloween fling.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Elara Spinelspark, whose pronouns are also she, her. And Alara's about to have a good old-fashioned panic attack, so buckle up. Buckle in. A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, Reg convinced Ivy to have moonshine for breakfast, resulting in some silly morning conversation. Elara worried Véres stole her book of runes and went to find them only to bump into them in the hallway. At the breakfast table, Véres also downed a cup of moonshine. Ivy talked more about her home in Extallin, and Elara picked up on the fact that Ivy is not actually from here. The group decided to go to the local science guild, and Elara warned Ivy not to do anything magic-y inside, which prompted some conversation about Alara's old traveling party and something about a 5-year. Véres went to check in with Riven, but was stopped by 2 cloaked figures blocking the door. Unable to get in through the front, Véres snuck around back, picked a lock, and listened as Riven forcefully told the mayor to get out of her office. Véres then went to the front door and met with Riven. They discussed Varys' adventure in the tunnels, and Riven warned him not to go back alone, and that in all her years she was never able to get deep into the roots. She warned that if Véres made it down, it was because whoever was down there wanted them to. Meanwhile, Ivy finally got her map, and outside of ye old general store, Elara and Ivy were stalked by countless robed figures as they made their way back to the inn. On the way, they spotted Véres going into the guardhouse and rushed over. Together, the three made their way to the Center of Ancient Civilization and Paranormal Research Guild, and inside the busy, bustling lab, Véres and Ivy found out Alara's mentor is the head of all mechanized engineering labs in Thylacer, causing them to tell her that she is hot shit. They also learned that the mayor was stopping the guild from excavating further into the ruins, and that the lab had lost a few researchers over the years. Another researcher informed them that they had found evidence of an extremist religious group that existed in the city of Lothan who worshipped Mortimer, the god of death. After a spell went wide, the group watched 2 researchers get into an intense argument over the validity of magic in the guilds. Elara went quiet in silent panic until one researcher asked if her guild allowed mages. Elara responded that they do not, and she told Véres and Ivy that they needed to leave immediately, and we pick up now with the 3 exiting the building.
They'll exit through the doors of the Center for Ancient Civilization and Paranormal Research after a very tense situation has transpired. What's going on inside your heads, guys? How you feeling?
Ivy wants to go back and fight that guy.
Yeah, Véres also very much wishes that he had stepped in and said something, because that was not okay.
I think Elara is... I think her skin is probably like super splotchy, and I think as soon as they get outside, she it's really hot out here. I feel like it's really hot. And she like shrugs off her jacket and just kind of like lets it fall on the floor. She has her worry stone in her hand and she's just kind of like rubbing it. I think her breathing is heavy and not like even, and definitely not calm. And she keeps like looking back at the door, like she's like waiting for someone to like come out or something.
Can I make an insight check to see if I can, or some kind of check to see if I can figure out what the fuck's going on with her?
I also want to do that.
The one time I roll a 19, it's to do with Alara's panic.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, you both get that she is having a really hard time. She's having a lot of anxiety. She's not really making eye contact. And her breathing is really kind of like unstable. And you see her just like frantically working this stone that she had, this like red flat stone that she has in her hand.
I think Véres looks like side-eyes Ivy in worry, like to see if she sees what he sees.
Ivy's eyes are wide as she meets your gaze, and she kind of like shakes her head like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. They nod. Take a second and look at Elara, and they're like, Elara, what normally helps you with this sort of situation?
No, I'm okay.
You don't need to lie. It's all right.
No, are you both okay? I feel so. I shouldn't have brought you in there. And I shouldn't have assumed that it was going to be like a safe situation. And I are you both okay? I'm sorry.
We're okay.
We're fine. And he looks at Elara and tries to like catch her eye, but he won't touch her. And he's like, we're all right and you're safe. No one's coming out that door.
I think she takes like a deep breath. I think like slowly her gaze stops like darting around, and she kind of like starts to focus a little bit. And she goes, we should get out of here though, just in case, anyone comes out, and maybe they might have questions or something like that. And there's also like cultists, probably too.
Sure. Let's go back
us.
to the inn, why don't we?
Okay. And she'll pick up her jacket.
I think Véres will hold out a hand to take it for her.
She'll let him hold it. And she just keeps her worry stone. And I think she's like looking out for cultists, but like not really looking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's I think she's a little dazed, honestly, maybe.
I think Véres takes up one side of her a little behind. Like, not really, I guess. More like slightly, like falling into step beside her, but just a little back. Just to keep an eye out around her.
Mm.
I think as they're walking, Ivy goes, does it help to talk, or do you want to like not talk? What helps you?
No, there's nothing really, I think, to talk about.
I mean, we could talk about other things. You could tell me about your favorite food.
She looks at you and she goes, Ivy, it's chocolate chip pancakes.
Do you make them often? Like, do you make them yourself, or is this like one of your parents has a special recipe that you can never recreate because it's made with love or something?
No, I can make it. I just, I don't really have the time to or the place to, because I'm usually staying in an inn and stuff, But when I'm not, then I can make them. Yeah.
So how do you make them?
Do you want like the ingredients?
Sure.
She lists off the ingredients. Flour and sugar and a little bit of salt, and milk and eggs, and
I feel like salt would be counterproductive to
just a
something sweet,
pinch,
though.
just a pinch.
Just a
If you
pinch?
yeah,
Okay.
just a pinch. That's the secret. That's the secret ingredient.
Oh.
It's actually not. Salt isn't everything,
Oh.
Ivy.
Oh, okay.
Do you put it in your eggs?
Yes,
Okay.
but I didn't think eggs aren't sweet.
No.
I think that'd be a little weird if eggs were sweet.
Have you never had chocolate-covered pretzels, Ivy?
I've had chocolate-covered pretzels, but that's different than like eggs.
Well, no, I know, but I was going back to the chocolate chip pancake.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, I was bringing it back around to that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think you see her slip her worry stone back in her pocket.
Véres gives Ivy a smile.
Véres, have you ever had chocolate chip pancakes?
No, I can't say that I have.
Okay. Well, when we get out of here, the first thing that we're doing is getting chocolate chip pancakes. It'll be my treat, and then you will both know how amazing they are.
I have no doubt that they are wonderful.
She nods.
They sound like some sort of pastry, which makes me confused as to why it's a breakfast food, but
Véres, what do you eat for breakfast?
Protein powder.
Do you just like lick it? Like dry?
By the handful.
He just shakes their head. Oh no, you snorted.
Oh. Doesn't it burn your nose though?
No, it's a good burn. It's what wakes you up in the morning.
Okay, it's like a slap in the face.
I'm completely joking.
A punch in the dick, more like.
Wow.
Ew, God. No, thank you. He just looks at Ivy mortified.
She goes, well, you can shake my hand with my glove on and, get a little zap. That'll wake anyone up, I think.
No, I don't need that to wake up, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, just usually eggs and toast.
She nods. I think as they approach the inn, she just goes, just wait until you have chocolate chip pancakes. It is going to blow your minds.
I try not to eat too many sweet things.
Elara sighs and walks into the inn.
It's like a treat, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one every day for breakfast, like my special little breakfast treat.
I normally have dessert after dinner.
I have dessert too after dinner.
Is it pancakes?
Is it chocolate chip pancakes? Yeah. So your leftover chocolate chip pancakes?
Sometimes. It depends. She's laughing so hard. Okay, so what are we doing for real now though?
I mean, I don't really know. We haven't really done anything towards like a nap.
No, I meant like the inn is pretty packed, I'm assuming. Like they're just like standing in like the entryway of the inn.
We just kind of like walk through the door and are trying to decide what we're doing. Véres looks at Elara and goes, do you know what time it is?
No.
You have a watch on your wrist, do you not?
Oh, yeah, she looks at it. It doesn't work.
What?
So why wear it?
Is it a family heirloom or?
No, but I have had it since I was like really young.
Why don't you get it fixed?
I've tried.
Why don't you fix it?
I've tried. And it always breaks or it doesn't work, and so I just leave it now.
All right.
All right.
I mean, it's a real watch. Like I've taken it apart. It has all of the like watch mechanisms in it.
I didn't think you were wearing a fake watch.
I mean, some people do for like decoration,
Why don't we get lunch and go upstairs and get out of the entryway of the inn?
Yes.
And gestures around to the super packed inn. Lunchtime rush is a affair here, it seems.
So we get lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Reg would be serving for lunch?
Probably sandwiches.
Sandwiches. I feel like potato soup.
Cool.
Potato leek soup.
You get sandwiches and potato and leek soup. And upstairs.
Ivy gets an extra sandwich, sans bread for Bia.
Just meat. A meat sandwich.
Just meat. Just a meat sandwich with some lettuce on there for some color.
I think Véres will lead the way up the stairs. And we can all meet in my room if you'd like.
Well, I mean, we can just like go there right now.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't have anything to do in my room. All my stuff is...
I don't either.
And she pats her pockets in her jacket that you're still holding.
Which is like neatly folded over one arm.
Of course it is. So we go to Véres' room.
Yeah, he unlocks it and just pushes it open. It's super tidy. Like he didn't even sleep in it last night. And he just gestures for them to make themselves comfortable.
Ivy goes and sits on the bed.
Okay, so Elara is going to sit down on the floor. So she's going to start taking things out of her pockets. And she takes out the garnet. And I would like to roll again to see if I can complete that, the rune that I have not been able to complete thus far.
Go for it.
I want to make it so that all she has to do is just literally complete the tiniest little connection.
Scratch.
To complete it.
Okay.
So I want to do it like up to that point. Okay, that's a 14 on the die. That's a 19 total.
Yeah, Elara, you managed to put in the carve needed to get it just so a slight nick will complete it.
Okay. She goes, yes, under her breath, while everyone is eating.
Véres looks down and swallows a mouthful of food. He's like, what are you working on?
Oh, I just was, remember how I said I wanted to see if I can get these gems to release the spells that are in them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I have gotten it. All I have to do is complete the connection and it might release. I have never seen gems that have spells in them without having runes carved in, so I don't exactly know how this might work.
I just hope that it doesn't affect those around it, that it can be targeted on a specific person. I'm not the biggest fan of enchanting magic.
Well, I mean, the charm person spell and the compulsion spell, they only affect one person, so I'm assuming it does the same thing.
Typically, it does target one person, but I'm wary what it will do when it's in a stone.
Well, there's a way to find out, and that is to test it out. But really, all I'm trying to do is dispel the spell anyway. I'm not trying to use it on someone. I just would like to get rid of it so that I can use this for something else, Norman-esque, you know?
They nod.
She puts the garnet on the floor beside her, and then she takes out some vials, and she takes out some like little satchels, like these little small satchels, and she puts them out around her, and she just starts like busying herself. Like you can see that she's just like trying to stay occupied, I think, and like distracted.
So when do you think we're going back? Says Ivy as she takes a bite of her sandwich.
I think Véres looks at over at you, Ivy, and with an eyebrow raised, says you want to go back in.
I mean, we kind of have to.
No, I'm aware of that, but I was going to go in. But I
swear to God, Véres,
didn't think you'd want to go back in.
If you're like, I'm doing this alone again.
No, I just, I'm not trying to. I know you guys are going to follow me. I just didn't think you'd want to see more of the shit that you saw last time. So.
Unfortunately, I kind of feel like our fates are already sealed.
I don't think that. I think you can change it at any time. The choice is yours, inevitably.
Well, the way those cultists were following us, I don't know if it is.
Right, they were following.
Elara's pouring green sand into a vial.
They were following us very closely.
I don't like the sound of that.
They weren't following you?
No, they just prevented me from seeing Riven. Or tried to, anyway.
But they were like all over Elara and I.
We saw a bunch of them.
Don't go anywhere alone, either of you, before we head out. I was planning to go tonight, but,
Why do you like to do, like, all the stuff at night, you know?
Easier to get around without being seen.
The color of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite colors?
Blue.
Okay.
Véres is, like, thinking about it a little too hard.
She takes out another vial and she pours some blue powder in it and she puts it into... She has like a strap across her chest that has like little slots in it, and she puts the blue vial into the slot on her chest. And she's like, Véres?
No, I don't know.
Pink.
Black? You like to, you know, when you're doing your sneaky sneaks.
It just makes the work easier. But never taking the time to consider it. I think they prefer the color vermilion. Red.
Okay.
Ivy reaches over and like lifts up one of your braids and then like lets it drop, and she's like, I would have thought it was pink.
Because my hair is pink?
Yes.
Elara takes out another satchel and pours some vermilion colored sand into a vial and puts it on her chest.
How many shades of colors of sand do you have, Elara?
A lot of them.
Why?
Véres side eyes you, Ivy, but looks back at Elara and waits for an answer.
That was so perfect.
To pause and then, why?
At the same time.
I mean, if you mix different colors together, then you get other colors. And I have a lot of them. And she reaches into her pocket and she just takes out like a handful of little satchels and like drops them on the floor.
A handful of loose sand.
No, just like little satchels. And they're all different color. They're like corresponding to the color that would be inside.
What does the sand do?
I sometimes use these to coat my nanobots different colors so I can see them.
Okay.
How are your guys' lunches going? Are your plates empty?
Ivy's almost done with her sandwich. Bia has inhaled hers, and now she is attempting to beg Véres for his. Because she knows that Ivy won't give her anything. And she sees a weakness in Véres.
Véres had A sandwich and soup.
Elara has been working on her stuff, so she has not eaten much.
Elara, you should eat your lunch.
Or at least put it up so that Bia can't take it.
I will. I'm just finishing up some stuff. Projects. So many things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going back in, we need to be prepared.
We do.
So I just want to make sure that we're prepared.
I think that's a good idea. Well, in the interim, I'm going to return these plates downstairs. I'll be back shortly.
Don't go into the tunnels by yourself, Véres.
They're locked and he can't do sneaky sneaks until later anyway, so I think we're fine.
I'm pretty sure he could find a way to.
Oh, so could we, though.
We could. We'll just go after you. And honestly, it would be better if you were our guide. Because who knows what kind of shenanigans we'd get up to by ourselves looking for you.
I assume lots more dirt in your diet in the future. And then they head out the door.
Elara goes, why would we eat dirt after he closes the door? I'm a vegetarian, not a
I feel like
dirt
is
eater.
vegetarian.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not really nutritious, though.
Depending on where you get it from, it might be.
I guess that's true, actually. So as Ivy and Elara have this conversation about dirt, Véres, you go downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
As you come down the staircase, you see, standing there talking to Reg, are two figures wearing black cloaks. The familiar black cloaks that have been following your friends around all day.
He looks a bit confused. Is Reg talking to them, or are they just standing at the bar?
No, Reg is talking. They make an insight check.
I wasted my good insight earlier. Oh, nat 20. Never mind.
So you can't see the figures. They have their backs to you and their hoods are up, so it's hard to tell body language. But you look at Reg and she looks both annoyed, but then you watch as her expression kind of like flashes to like concern and worry for a second, just only for a second. And it looks like she's putting up a very strong air that she is annoyed with whatever is happening, but underneath it there seems to be some worry or concern that she's trying to mask.
I think that Véres continues down the staircase and goes to approach Reg, seeing the concern on their face. Can I catch her eye?
As you do, she looks at you, she like makes quick eye contact, and she goes, I already told you I don't know where they are. They're not here. Do you think I keep tabs on everybody? There was someone went missing just a few days ago and I don't know where they went. Why would I know where those three are?
He gives a subtle gesture to point to himself.
I think she takes her, she has like a tankard in her hand and she kind of like slams it down on the, like she makes eye contact with you and when you point, she slams her tankard down on the bar.
He recedes back up the stairs and like giving Reg a nod.
Okay.
And opens the door and shuts it behind him to his room. Looks at them and goes, you need to hide.
What?
You need to hide right now.
Where?
Under the bed, in the wardrobe, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Well, okay, wait, what's happening?
The cultists are downstairs
Okay.
in the tavern.
You think they're like coming for us?
I can't see why else they would be talking to Reg right now.
Okay, well, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to wait and see what they want. I have a feeling they're looking for you two. They haven't been following me. They've been following both of you. I'm going to tell them that you've gotten out of town and you're no longer here.
Okay, okay, but where are we gonna hide?
In the wardrobe under the bed, I don't care. You need to hide, that's all I know.
You don't think that they're gonna look? Like if they're actually looking for us?
My hope is to convince them not to enter the room at the door.
Okay, two things really quick. Do you feel like we have all been, together for 2 days? I know that's really quick to even be asking these kind of questions, but do you feel like maybe we've earned some kind of like trust a little bit or something?
At this point, yes. Do whatever you want to do, just do it.
Okay, cool. She takes the 2 vials off of her chest and she hands Ivy the blue one and she hands Véres the red one and she goes, can you just spit in these real quick for me?
She does immediately.
Véres makes a face, hesitating only briefly. I'm just gonna roll for it. Yeah, they spit in the vial.
And she takes out Norman and she goes, I kind of have a hiding spot maybe that we can hide in and no one will find us.
I'm not going in your pockets.
No one will find us. And we can breathe for like 5 minutes in there.
That's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, but it's better than getting caught by cultists, I think. And Véres can let us out. And Véres, if you get attacked or something, I'll just leave Norman out, and then Norman can deactivate my jacket, and we'll just like pop us out of the jacket with all my stuff. You saw it happen the other day. It'll be fine.
Can Norman follow commands like that?
I can program him.
Do it quick.
I'm just gonna go in the wardrobe.
What if they find you?
I'll fucking blast their asses.
Go in the jacket, Ivy.
All right, fine.
She takes off her jacket. She quickly programs Norman to, in 5 minutes, deactivate her jacket. And she goes, it's really simple. And she takes her jacket off and it's on the floor and she like puts her foot in and you just see her whole leg like disappear. And then she puts her other leg in and she goes, okay, see you in 5 minutes, Véres. And
countdown.
She disappears under the jacket.
He looks at Ivy.
Ivy tells Bia to go up to the ceiling to watch so that she's got a...
Ooh, nice.
She thinks she's got a line of sight. She probably won't because it's a different plane, but she gets in.
Okay.
Elara goes, hey.
What does the inside of your pockets look like, Elara?
Darkness.
It's dark.
Yeah, I think we're sitting in darkness.
Are we sitting or floating?
No, I think there's floors. I think there's floors in here. And I think it's dark, and as soon as your feet land, they land on things. And then you like go to step and you just hear like
a crunch.
Yeah. And Elara goes, just stand still. You know, I don't know if stuff breaks in here, or how that all works. Are you okay? This is really weird.
She just nods.
I can't see you right now.
I'm here.
Okay. It's gonna be fine.
You know, the more we talk, the less air we have.
No, I just think it's 5 minutes. But I will be quiet, okay?
Do we think Bia can see?
Do you test the connection?
Yeah, immediately.
It doesn't work.
You hear her sigh.
Are you okay?
I lost my connection to Bia.
Yeah, this is a whole different pocket plane. I should really get some lights in here, I think. Véres, about a minute. Okay, go ahead. Are you going to do anything?
I think Véres is going to take the jacket and he's going to put it on the other side of the bed on the floor and keep a pocket open.
Okay.
And put Norman beside the jacket.
Norman actually like scuttles like under the jacket to be like unseen. Anything else you would like to do in the like 10 seconds you have?
He pulls all of his weapons and puts them in his jacket. Not his jacket. Like puts them on his person and in his pack.
About 30 seconds after Elara and Ivy hop into the pockets, you hear a knock at the door.
He puts it on his back and he goes to the door. He like opens it just a little crack and goes, "Can I help you?"
You open the door and you see a man standing at about 5'8" with yellow eyes, scarring on his cheeks, very kind of sunken in cheeks. And next to him is a woman who looks to be about 5'9", long white hair, very pale, powdery blue skin, like almost like Ivy's, but very almost white, with like hints of blue, and also very, very pale eyes, wrinkly skin. And she looks at you. She goes, "Yes, I believe you can.
What do you need?"
The mayor has requested an audience with you and your friends."
He corks an eyebrow. "My friends?"
"The Fey child."
He looks even more confused, but he opens the door a little more. Says, "I'm sorry, the what?"
"The Fey child. Where have they gone, the two of them?"
"I'm not sure who you're talking about. The Fey child?"
She nods again.
"Fey don't exist here anymore."
"No, they don't. You'll explain to the mayor. He has questions."
"Regarding?"
"Your recent discoveries down in the tunnels. He wants to reward you for all of your help."
"I see." Well, I'll be happy to accompany you. However, if you mean the other two I was with were not close, and also they have left town.
Insight check.
Deception. Disgrace.
Nope. I got a 6 and a 9. What'd you get?
Well, way more than that. 22.
Yeah. She looks at you, and the one next to you, he starts like sniffing the air, and he looks at the woman. He kind of gestures to you, Véres, like he wants to enter the room.
He steps aside and gestures for him to have a look.
And he's going to make an investigation check for a 9 on the die. He looks under the bed. He looks out the window. He opens the closet, the wardrobe, and he shakes his head, steps back outside. And she goes, "That is a shame. I'm sure we'll find her, though."
If you hurry out of town quick enough, you might be able to catch them.
Oh, we need to bring you to the mayor first.
All right, give me a moment. He leaves the door open, doesn't shut it. He just goes and collects something else off the table and puts it in his pack and puts it on his back and goes to them. All right, lead the way.
She inclines her head and kind of like gestures for you to go first.
For a second, he considers fighting them. I'm worried about the girls in the jacket.
Mm-hmm. They have about a minute left, I think.
Yeah, so he prays to the gods that Norman does what Elara programmed them to do, and he heads out the door.
Do you close the door behind you?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so you walk off with these two people.
He leaves the key to Reg at the door, gives them a look, and says, "Thank you for your hospitality, Reg."
She nods. She says loudly enough for anyone who's listening to hear. She goes, she kind of laughs, like disgusted. "All right, just hang in there. I've sent word to Riven about all of this."
"It'll be all right. Thank you." And they head out.
Elara and Ivy, how's it going in the deep darkness?
Ivy has no idea how long time has passed.
Good as Elara. I think she was trying to count and she got distracted.
She got distracted by Ivy crunching on her shit.
Yeah. And she goes, it'll be okay.
It starts getting harder to breathe. The air is thinner.
Norman, well, I only made him last night, but he seems great so far.
You trusted our lives with a baby?
A very smart baby, who is programmed to follow my commands. And also, I didn't really know what the alternative was.
The wardrobe.
Right, but what if they would have opened it and found us,
I would have blasted their asses with magic.
Remember what we said about doing magic out in the open? Also,
I'll take a dagger and stab them in the eye.
Okay, it is about this time that you see a light shine, and in literally an instant, you feel your body like being sucked almost like in a vacuum, and you hear like a popping sound, and you open your eyes, and you're both sitting on the floor of Véres' room with all of Elara's shit all over. And Norman is just like standing there. And Elara goes, "See?
One spindly leg raised.
We made it. Okay, well, we have to find Véres, right?" And she sits down, and she starts tinkering with like the tag on her jacket, and she's going to try to reactivate her pockets. What do we do?
I guess we really have to wait until your pockets are done, but then,
They'll be done in a second, because I rolled a 16 on the die. It's plus my Arcana?
Yep.
So 22. 22.
Awesome, yeah. It takes a few minutes, but I think maybe about 5, and finally you get it to reactivate.
So she shoves all of her stuff back in the pockets.
Ivy's helping.
Okay, what do we do?
She looks up at Bia.
Bia is still up in the rafters, safe and sound.
And she's like, "Where did they go?" And her eyes glaze over for a minute, and then she looks at Elara, and her eyes unglaze. It's probably a little unsettling, to be honest with you. And she goes, "They took Véres to the mayor's office."
Okay, well, we should go there now, right?
Yes.
Quietly, probably.
Probably so quietly it scares even us. We're very good at being quiet and sneaky. We should just channel into that.
Okay, but we'll go out the back door.
Yes,
Okay.
let's go.
All right. So as they depart, we're going to swing on over to Véres. You get outside. They're walking side by side with you. Do you do anything? Do you say anything?
I think he's going to keep up the airs of he's going to talk to the mayor to be thanked. He knows that that's not the case.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He looks at the two and goes, "So, how long have you two been a part of the guard?"
The woman looks over to you and smiles, and she goes, I am not a part of the guard.
Oh, you're not?
I work for the mayor.
Fascinating. What do you do for him?
The good work.
The good work?
The only work that there is.
Which is...
You'll find out soon.
Oh. All right.
The mayor is very excited to see you.
Just seems strange to me. I don't believe I've made his acquaintance.
We all make his acquaintance eventually.
We?
Everyone.
I suppose so.
I waited over 700 years to make his acquaintance. And finally I was blessed. And now you will be blessed too.
700 years is a long time.
It is.
Why wait so long? Did you not get impatient?
What else was there to do?
Anything productive? You had 700 years.
Our work has been very productive.
Does she have the scarring too?
She does. Do not fear. He will show you the way.
First of all, no fear. I don't think there's a reason to be afraid. Unless, of course, I'm in trouble, which then I am a little nervous. What will he show me?
It's different for everyone. He will show you the end. He shows us all the end.
The end of...
Of all things.
So I'm going to die.
I think it depends on how you look at death.
Intriguing.
You'll see the way.
I know it already. I intend to go and deserve it. So, I don't think I'll be going anytime soon. But, I hope that's not the reward.
And on that note, I think that you approach the office.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bigger building. It's the biggest building that you've seen so far in town. It is made of like white stone against all the wooden buildings. It very much stands out. You walk up maybe about 10 stairs. It seems to be on a little bit of a hill. And you open the doors. And it's a big, big open hall. There's big, tall windows. And there's like 6 people in there, and they're all wearing black cloaks.
Ominous.
They're all scars on their cheeks. They don't really pay you any mind.
He doesn't pay them mind either.
Do you keep walking?
Confidently.
You get to the mayor's office.
Hoping that the other two had the sense to run away.
And the doors open. It's like 2 double doors. Nice big office. On the ground floor, there's a desk, a nice tall chair, and then a window behind. And you see the mayor, Onyx Grayson, just standing there leaning against the desk waiting for you. And as you approach, he smiles. And you can see, like, as his face moves, the cracks that are, like, in his skin. It's very, like, hardened skin. It's almost like rock, like stone. They almost, like, shine and, like, shimmer, these lighter colors underneath the dark stone. And he kind of, like, outstretches his arms and he smiles wide and he goes, I've been waiting for you.
So I'm told.
Come, have a seat. Can I get you some tea?
Oh, no. I'm quite alright, thank you.
I've heard you're a fan of Reg's Dwarven Moonshine. I think I have some.
No, thanks. I'm trying to lay off the drinking. Appreciate the offer, though.
He goes, me too. Do you step into the office?
I think he's going to take a precursory look to see if there's any any traps or anything.
Oh yeah, make a perception check.
Or hidden people. I'm wasting so many natural 20s right now for a total of 22.
You look around. You don't see any people. There doesn't look to be, there's like a bookcase on the wall. There's a window behind the desk. There's 2 chairs that are facing the desk. You see that there is an open book on the desk. And it's like a big kind of like brightly lit office.
Any hidden things
Not that you can see.
with a natural 20?
Any hidden, like, there's no traps. You feel confident that there's no traps?
No traps, no hidden people.
It's a big open room. It doesn't look like there's a closet, unless it's like illusioned, but as far as you can tell, it's just a big open room.
Yeah, he walks in.
As you step in, the two robed figures close the doors. They stay on the outside, leaving the two of you alone. And he gestures to the chair and he takes a seat behind the desk and he folds his hands over and kind of leans on the book. You notice he's wearing a very flashy ring on his finger, as well as a flashy chain with a gem in it around his neck.
He takes a seat in the chair as offered and makes eye contact instead of looking at the flashy jewelry. Mostly because he doesn't care about it.
Fair. He smiles at you. He goes, "You and your friends have been quite the menace."
He sits up in his chair, levels his gaze, says, "To clarify, we are not friends."
He nods his head, and I think on that, we are going to flash back over to your not friends, who are about to do a rescue mission for their not friend.
Doing a heckin' rescue.
We're doing a rescue. So, Elara and Ivy, we go out the back door. Let's make perception checks to see if we see any robed figures, right? That's an 8 on the die. Come on, Ivy.
It's a dirty 20.
Elara goes to look, and I think Ivy just pushes past her. And does a glance around, and as far as you can tell, there are no robed figures that you can see. Elara goes, I have no idea where the mayor's office is, do you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can you, like, send Bia up to get, like, a bird's eye view? Is that, like, a thing?
Do you think that the mayor's office has a giant mayor here sign on it?
I feel like there might be a sign. Or we can just go ask Reg.
I think we should probably ask Reg.
So they go back inside. And I think Elara, like, runs up to Reg and she goes, hi, hey, where's the mayor's office? She goes, head over to Town Square. You'll see it down one of the roads. It's the big white stone building. It's the fanciest one in this whole place. And Elara goes, okay, thank you. And runs out the door. Okay, so are we trying to be, we're trying to be sneaky, stealthy?
Stealthy.
Yeah, roll some stealth checks, guys.
Yeah, with your disadvantage, Elara.
I got a 10.
Nice.
An 18.
Well, at least one of you is sufficiently stealthed.
Elara is kind of running towards the mayor's office, I think, at this point. And I think we'll make another perception check as we get to Town Square to see if we see anybody. I think we kind of come out of, like, a side street, like we're sticking to the alleyways, you know? Perception. That's a natural 1. Come on, Ivy! Please! Well, because you know why?
Why? 19.
She's tinkering with her goggles as they're running. She's gonna ritually cast detect magic.
She's like, Ivy's got this.
Yeah.
Ivy can see with her special eyes.
You see, like, diagonally across the way, you see there's, like, a cultist walking through the town square.
She tugs on Elara.
Elara gets yanked back. You guys wait like 2 minutes, and you watch them kind of cross the street, and stealth checks again. 3.
16. Okay.
Well, Elara is not stealthed, and Ivy is stealthed. Good thing they're looking for the Fae Child. I don't know what to say. So you sneak your way through some more kind of back alleyways, back buildings. You get about, like, 2 or 3 buildings away from the mayor's office. One more perception check.
17 plus 6. 20, whatever the fuck.
You see standing by the door, there's a robed figure. And you see on the opposite side of the building, so, like, you guys are facing the building, but you're on the left side. You see there's someone that looks to be, like, circling the building on the right side. There are trees, there are bushes that kind of line going towards the back of the building. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, we gotta get in there.
Elara goes, do we want to try to, like, sneak around the back and see if there's, like, a back way in or a window or something?
We can totally try that. I mean, there probably is a back door. It's a fire hazard if not.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. Roll stealth checks. You can try to sneak to the back of the building?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an 11.
It's Much better.
It is much better.
17.
So I think we stealth our way, hopping from like bush to bush, you know, standing behind like a big trunk of a tree. And you make your way to the back of the building. You don't find a door, but you do find a window.
Ivy looks through the window stealthily.
Sure,
She motions for Alara to stay the fuck down.
Alara stays down.
Because she knows Alara is jingle jangling.
Make a stealth check again. And Alara's gonna hand you her goggles and go, you can put these on and see if you see anything. It'll tell you if there's magic and stuff, you know?
All right. She puts the goggles on.
So stealth first.
17 for stealth.
Okay. Véres, make a perception check.
24 for perception.
Nice. That's really great.
18 for perception.
Okay. What'd you roll for stealth? 17?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Véres, you're sitting in the chair talking with Onyx, and out of the corner of your eye, you see navy blue hair and powder blue skin with these silly looking goggles. Yep. Just literally peek her eyes with the goggles over.
Her ears are like also pointed.
Ivy, you see Véres. You guys make direct eye contact, I think.
She like widens her eyes.
But with the goggles on, you do see the nanobots start to swarm in some different places in the room. The nanobots are teeny tiny and they can get through cracks and crevices. And so they very easily filter their way through just the little teeny tiniest gap in the window. You see some hover around Véres, around his clothing. So you see them go orange, denoting transmutation. You get that blinking light again, Ivy, as there seems to be a really big swarm around Véres. But your eye is also drawn, some of them hover around the mayor. You see some of them start to flash pink, denoting enchantment. You see some of them start to flash purple for illusion. You see some of the space around his desk flash red, and the goggles tell you that that is evocation magic. And you see some go out underneath the door, but you can't see through the door, so you're not sure what they might be hovering to on that side. And how does Véres look? Does he look relaxed? What kind of vibe is Ivy getting from him?
Serious. He looks like he's it's very strange. His body is relaxed, but there's a slight, I don't know, make an insight check, Ivy.
It's an 18.
18? Okay. I think what you get is, on the surface, he seems very relaxed and nonchalant, but below that surface, his body is like tensed and coiled as if ready to strike at any moment.
So Ivy, that is what you see and perceive and insight and take in.
So much. Does Véres hold her eye contact, or does he just like, is it just like they make eye contact and then he looks away?
He doesn't stare at her for long so as not to attract attention at the window, and he barely reacts to seeing you. When he looks over, he makes eye contact again with the mayor.
Ivy slinks down and relays all of that to Elara.
Okay. She's whispering. I don't know. I don't know. Or should we just like wait and listen? Do we need like a plan of attack? Is this like an attack situation? He's got magic, right? So that's probably not great. And this place is swarming with culty people.
I mean, I think we need to get in there and save Véres.
Okay, so do we break through the window? Do we go through the front door?
Are you suggesting that we just like somersault into the window?
She goes, well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should like listen for a second and just like see what's happening. Or do we just somersault into the window? I have no experience in this, so I'm not sure what the best option is, you know? And the person who's been telling us what to do is in there. doing like a business thing, so I don't know what to do, you know?
No, I don't think that was a business thing. I think that was a held hostage thing.
Okay.
Véres did not look very jazzed to be there.
Véres doesn't look jazzed to be anywhere, let's be real.
Can Norman go in and open the window and we can like just sneak into the window, or
Into this window right here that's right behind the mayor?
maybe not this one? I don't know.
Like a different one?
Sneaky we could be in this one. Maybe a different one?
We can try for a different one. She programs Norman to go find an open window. And you watch him scutter away. And she goes, okay, well, he'll be back with some window information.
10 minutes goes by and you see Norman inside with Véres.
As you're discussing this, we're gonna flip back inside the window, metaphorically, not physically, to Véres and Onyx.
No somersaulting? Okay.
So Véres, to your comment about them not being your friends, he kind of shrugs. He smiles and he shrugs and he goes, friends or not, you three have been very busy the past few days.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that I would have the three of you here to thank you all for all you've been doing for the town.
Did you not just call me a menace?
He smiles and he goes, menaces are good sometimes.
Well, unfortunately, they've left town, so...
His face drops a little bit. Make a deception check.
Dirty 20.
He clicks his tongue and he goes, where is the Fae child?
He looks at him and says, I have no idea. I didn't even know there was a Fae child. Are you looking for someone in particular? A description perhaps may help. I could help you find them.
Blue hair, pseudo-dragon flying around. I don't know what you think you're going to accomplish here.
That's funny, I was wondering the same thing. About you? Skip the theatrics, Onyx. What is it you want?
I told you. I want the Fae child.
Ah, I see. Well, that's quite unfortunate. I don't have them.
So then, the question remains, what is it that you hope to accomplish here? Down in the tunnels, around town?
Oh, I was just working. My involvement was due to the mistake of involving somebody that was close to me.
So you'll be leaving then?
So long as you don't meddle with people who are close to me again, yes. And they won't return nor interfere.
Clicks his tongue. That doesn't work for me. I heard you can be bought, though.
For the right price.
He smiles, and he goes, what I can offer you is priceless.
Well, then you have my attention.
It starts with understanding. There is no winning for the whole of Elara. But I've seen you, I've watched you, and I think I could use someone like you. I think we can be friends. And he leans in, kind of like closer, and he's still got his hands clasped on the desk. And he goes, but before we can do that, I just need you to tell me where she is, darling. And as he says it, you watch him twist his ring, and the little flash goes over the gem. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
With advantage?
With advantage?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's fucking mad now. I think in the brief moment before the flash occurs, the word registers in his brain, and the rage, like the anger that he was barely controlling, kicks up tenfold, and he sees red. He wants to reach across the table and smash his face in the desk.
What do you think, Dusty? Do you think that anger can help him fight off the wisdom save?
He is a barbarian.
Okay, roll with advantage. Natural 1.
Natural 20.
What was the first one?
That was a natural 1.
No, it wasn't. That's amazing. So, he says the words, he twists his ring. You watch this kind of flash and glow of the gem, and you feel a familiar feeling start to wash over you. A feeling of losing oneself, I think, would be the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the combination of a trigger word for you and feeling that feeling that is also probably a trigger for you, you push it away and you shake it off.
Amazing. I think that he looks at the ring, registers what's happening, or what he attempted to do. And he looks up at him, and the quiet, seething resentment on his face. The tension in the room is palpable, and he stands and he says, "Do not call me darling." And I think that as he does, I don't know. I kind of want to smash his head in the desk.
Let's go.
That's when Norman scuttles in. Does that and distracts him just long enough.
Oh, I think that as he rises and says, "Do not call me darling," I think he's going to kick the desk into the back wall and like try to smush Onyx into it.
Okay. So I think what would that be? Make a strength check?
Should that have been a burnt rage?
To have gotten advantage on your wisdom save? Yeah, I like that. He's gonna make a contested strength, I think.
19.
He got a 17.
So I think as he says, "Do not call me darling," in that like barely contained fury, something snaps and he stands up, and he as he stands in his full height, he kicks forward and shoves the desk as hard as he can with his foot into the back wall, crashing Onyx into it and pinning him between the table and the wall.
As he does that, Onyx starts to stand up and he sees what's happening, and he takes his fist as this is happening, and in an attempt to stop it, he slams his fist down on the desk, and you watch it splinter, but not enough to crack, and he goes flying back and he gets slammed into the wall.
He's gonna lunge for him.
Hold on.
Okay.
Elara and Ivy, you two are listening to this. You hear the conversation, and then you hear Onyx slam into the wall. Pretty much up against the window, almost.
Ivy goes, "Oh, I think that's not cute." How tall is this window?
It's not tall. You had to be like kind of crouched down to so the building is on a hill, so you had to like walk upstairs to get in, but the back is kind of like met up with the hill, so it's only like maybe like 5 feet off the ground. So like if you're standing full height, you can see.
By 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You see Ivy rear back with her fist as it frosts over, and she casts Frostbite and punches through the window.
Nice. I love that. So Onyx smashes into the back at pretty much as you're punching through the window. You now have a way to climb through. I think Elara will try to boost you up real quick.
She overcorrects and throws Ivy with her adrenaline.
No, I love it. Yeah, so Ivy comes flying into the room. Elara is going to make a strength check to try to use her upper body strength to pull herself through the window.
Please get high. Come on, let's go.
Ooh, she got a 19 on the die.
Hey!
So 18. So I think Mama Bear mode kicks in and she's just like, roar. And she fucking very ungracefully, she gets her arms up and then she gets her leg over and she's able to not fall on the glass. She lands with a crunch. We're not in initiative yet, but Véres, you can make a move.
Awesome. He's gonna grab him by the shirt, his nice suit, and smash his face down on the desk.
I think I want to do contested strength because I think he wants to try to resist it.
Okay. I don't know if he's going to be able to.
What'd you get?
23.
He got a 21. So, and you realize, like, he's not a very big man.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's like, it feels like he's made of stone. Like,
yeah.
You're trying to, like, you thought maybe you were going to, like, throw him around. He is resisting. So you're going to smash his head against the wall?
No, into the desk. He's
I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Into the desk.
Yeah, smash him. I think that the fact that he's putting up a fight is only making this worse for him. For Onyx.
If you would just die gracefully.
That wouldn't be an issue.
Did Ivy fall into the glass? Like, is she on the floor?
Yeah, there's absolutely no way Ivy sticks that landing.
Okay. So Ivy takes
She like fell face
one
first.
point. So you look up as Véres is smashing this man's face into the desk, and you have like a piece of glass just like sticking out of your forehead.
She picks it out real quick.
Yeah, Elara lands with like a crunch. Her boots crunch the glass underneath, and she watches Onyx's face get smashed.
Do I get to roll damage?
Yeah. Do you have an unarmed strike? What would be your unarmed strike?
My unarmed strike is +3 to hit, and then it's +2 to damage. It's 4.
So you got a 4 on the die?
Yep.
So it's 6. So when he picks his head up, he's not bleeding, but you see a little crack in his forehead, and underneath it, you see this like red, like fire color almost. Not red like blood, but like an orange color leaking through. And he looks at you, and he smiles, and he nods his head, and he goes, "I was right about you. I was wrong about you." And he looks at Ivy, who's on the floor, right?
She's up at this point, I think.
He goes, "Welcome. I've been looking for you."
Paris looks over his shoulder, just keeping him in his Onyx in his peripheral, and looks at Ivy, and he looks scary.
He's facing them.
He side glances over at them and looks back at Onyx.
Okay. He looks back at you, Véres, and he goes, "It's unfortunate. Morals and a pure heart get in the way, but it's no matter."
He actually almost laughs.
You must be fun at parties.
He goes, "Oh, we're going to have a party really soon."
I have to disrespectfully decline.
"But why? You're already here. Don't you want to see what happens next?"
Not particularly.
I will show you what happens next.
What happens next is you get your ass beat.
He smiles, and he goes, "I bet you wish that were true." And he slams his hand down into his desk again in the same spot that he slammed it down in at the first time. And you all see a flash of a glyph blur your vision, and everything goes black. Dun dun dun!
For even Elara and Ivy?
Mm-hmm.
They're resistant. They can't be magically put to sleep.
They're not put to sleep. You've all been brought to 0 health. So,
excusez-moi.
We're going to take a little 5-minute break so I could get into this next mindset
I'm
that
sorry.
I need to get into.
What was the glyph? What happened?
Glyph of fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
Let's
Session
roll
5.
creepies. I'm excited.
Session 5.0. Do 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 do. Elara's panic attack. Intros.
Are you getting into character?
I'm getting into my pain cave. This is
Your
my pain.
Your
No.
pink pain cave.
Yeah, it's
What
my
is
pain.
on that blanket?
Marshmallows? It's like s'mores.
So cute.
It's
Are you gonna do
chocolate.
the podcast like this? Because this is great audio work.
Elara is in her pain cave.
Varys looks at Elara and goes, "Do you know what time it is?"
Time
No.
for you to get a watch. Got that.
No, I'm leaving it. Elara.
That's
So
an Ivy. I was just like, no.
So we get lunch,
Mhm.
Mhm.
protein powder, and salad.
No.
Protein powder salad.
What do you think Reg would be serving for
Sprinkle
lunch?
some protein powder on top.
Probably sandwiches.